I'm Dr. Lewis Clarke. This is a story about a 23-year-old woman, happily married to a young Marine in California. She was pregnant. At 42 weeks, she underwent a normal C-section, was thought initially to be a normal C-section. Unfortunately, she could not stop bleeding.
I am Sydney Rigoni, and I suffered from multiple strokes, and I was in a coma. But like you said, I resurrected.
You did resurrect.
Yes, I did. By a miracle. It was a miracle.
They removed her uterus with a full hysterectomy. And because she could not stop the bleeding and because she presented with some left-sided weakness, she was transferred to the Naval Hospital in San Diego. There they found her to have bilateral cerebral infarcts, status epilepticus with seizures they could not stop. This was a desperate situation. The husband, of course, was at the bedside continually.
We've been married 3 years. We met in high school, so we've been together for 6 years.
High school sweethearts.
We met on November 20th, 2016, and ever since then we just hang out every day until I joined the military. And
How did this go? Was the pregnancy all normal?
no, the pregnancy was smooth, full term, didn't even get Braxton Hicks. Yeah, on the 17th we went to get induced. Yeah, she was awake talking to me, and I was talking her through it. And then they showed us little Declan as he came out, cut the umbilical cord, and about 30 minutes goes by, they said, "Oh, your wife should be back anytime now. She's gonna be fine." 30 minutes turns into an hour turns into 2 hours. I'm asking nurses like, "Hey, is my wife okay?" All I hear is like codes going over the intercom, like code purple. I hear people running around, and I'm asking people like, "Hey, how's my wife?" And they're like, "Oh, I'll go check on her." And as soon as they cleared the threshold, they would just take off down the hallway. I could hear them.
Her workup continued. She was found to have a left hemiparalysis and a left neglect. In other words, she really didn't know that there was an entire left side of her body.
Then I wait the whole night. Then the morning, a doctor comes in. She says, after looking at your wife's scans, we don't think that in any way that she's going to wake up. The part of her brain that was responsible for waking her up has been completely destroyed. At that point, I just like let out this like belt of like just sorrow, and I was just like, "God, please don't take my wife away from me. Please help me." And I'm sitting there, and we put Declan on her chest because we think this is it. You know, this is the last time she'll probably be able to feel him. And someone walks in the room. And they're like, "Hey, we're the neuroradiologists. After looking at your wife's scans, you know, we think that she can possibly wake up. We just don't know why." Like 2 days go by, and she's still not waking up. So they did an EEG. Found out she was having like silent seizures. Like she wasn't showing any physical signs, she was just having seizures in her sleep, and that's why she wasn't waking up. The way they explained it was when you have a seizure, you know, you get really tired afterwards, and she was having 8 to 9 seizures an hour at a minute to 2 minutes long.
Wow.
And so finally, once they started putting her underneath some like crazy seizure medication, about 2 weeks goes by before she like opens her eye just a little bit. Once we got her unintubated, that's when the miracle started happening.
I looked like a zombie.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it.
She was transferred to PAM Rehabilitation Hospital in Clear Lake under my care, and I initiated my full neurochemical and neurorehab protocol. She had a complete evaluation by speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy. All of that was initiated. So when you came, we started a neuro protocol, which is pretty unique. It stimulates reconnection. And you couple that with the therapies that we have here at PAM, and then the brain begins to remember. That's really what we do in rehab. I put the chemistry back in your head with all the supplements that we know make brain, and then the therapists are having you practice picking up those pegs and putting them in the holes.
Those stubborn little things.
And all of that coordination begins to come back because the brain is making that network again. It's making those connections again. She participated in all the physical and occupational therapies, and she progressed from wheelchair level, not being able to even stand, to being able to stand and initially walk with ataxic gait, but gradually able to achieve more coordination and walk 1,000 feet. And this happened over the course of the first 2 weeks. What do you feel like you're doing better than each day? Can you give me a rundown?
I feel like I can talk a lot better. I mean, I'm doing things even on my own. I can do the physical things better. They had me on the treadmill. Therapy has been very good and helpful to me. And I really am grateful for all the therapists. They've helped me so much.
I mean, she was learning how to talk, swallow, walk with only 20 minutes of therapy a day, so this...
I recovered really fast here.
Yeah, and that's why even the doctors were like, you're a miracle. You know, she doesn't really see it, but every day since we stopped the seizures, I've seen improvement, and then when we got here, it took off.
So in this last 2 weeks, it's gone nuts, right?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
night and day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've
you
done
see
a
it.
lot in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
A lot.
like seeing her where she was, where she is now. It's almost,
Yeah.
it's like a movie. I'm just grateful that, she's still
I
here
know.
with me.
It's really just a testimonial what has happened to me, and I'm just so grateful that it even is a story to tell.
You know, I expected to be here years. They told us it would be 2 years before she was even walking like a normal person again. But here she is, wanting to walk around the building after this,
Yeah.
walking Declan in the stroller.
I know that we do things here at PAM that most places don't do, and so it's the combination of that neurochemistry that I put together and these amazing therapists. So I'm just real thankful that we all work together as a team. You're the key member of the team.
Yeah.
You worked so hard, and Nick, oh my gosh. Her mother-in-law brought the baby up. It was a beautiful picture to see Sydney in bed, cuddling the baby between therapies. Of course, the baby is healthy as can be. The entire staff was ecstatic to watch this progression.
Sydney, tell them.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Since
much.
I need money. I was in a coma.
Oh my gosh.
So many people didn't need money. And I'm so grateful.
She said she wanted to do a video, and I was like, okay, we got it. You know, that was supposed to be like the happiest time of our life. You know, you have the kid, you go home, it keeps you up. Quickly turned.
Yeah.
And I was telling her dad, like, in a way, this is a lot more precious than just the regular birth, because now I'm getting to see you come back and have Declan. So it's all coming to me slowly, and I can just ride this out for a while.
oh yeah.
So
yeah.
this will probably be like one of the highlights of my life as you get better.